Hello, welcome to another round in the seasonal trials of Paul Dave Sarkera P2. I've got Tom Zeno Leon, Later Dragon Sonic, Ivo Gurov, K-Ball, Sebastian Cabo, Zach Wallace, Jonathan Sim, Theo, Daniel Boxarov, Aina Babadis, Carlos Fernandez, Nick Leon, Cesar Omar, Dominic Benedetto, MP4, Revo, Alva Sierra, Arabulas, Van Horn, and Roy St. Maximin. Here we are in the country situated next to Austria. It's Hungary, 5 red lights, and we're on the way. It is a good start for our championship leader, but it looks to be a better start for Sarkera initially with the launch overall. Better for Ultra, Sarkera down the inside of his championship rival through in the first place of the Grand Prix. Perfect getaway for him, as Versio not having the best times in PA. He stood on the podium last race in his debut, which was an incredible sight to watch. Cable's under pressure from Tom Leon, who's down in P5, and now you have the back out there, Cable fighting with Playground Sonic. He's taking the inside line from his teammate, looking up to the left as well, as you can see, down the inside at Chicane, and is up ahead in his third place in the race. How the Dragon, they're still side by side as they're heading toward the third sector of the track. They can't be fighting, and they've finally sorted out their positions like that as what they wanted. One hard tire runner in Cesar Omar today, so what sort of strategy would be good for? Probably a hard tire strategy to a soft. Hard to medium also works too, as the Benedetto is ahead of Fernandez now, which will be a good relief for the American driver, who's going to charge his way down the straight in an attempt to get Revo. You could possibly try and go for Revo into corners. Barris has a 5-second time penalty for causing collision. The Benedetto forces Boxarov to go wide using Kurz and DRS at the same time. It's not enough to get ahead, as Rayo sends it and gets up through 2 places, breaking from one lane lost, still trying to fight for that second place, an additional position that he would love to get. Here is a man with the penalty. Aina Babadis, it's not a good start. You can't be getting penalties on race starts. They absolutely kill your race. As Ocampo moves up to P9, he's going to try and fight Wallace. He's got soft tires, Wallace on the medium, so obviously Wallace will have less pace for now than Ocampo. So Ocampo's going to use the softs to his advantage and try and pull himself ahead of the Alfa Romeo. As we're on the final quarter against Ultra in this Grand Prix, on his way to lap 3, Sarkera is going to fall behind, and he's struggling to even stay in DRS, which is a bad sight for him. He's even used the curves down the straight just to ensure he stays in the DRS range, while also trying to pull away from Blade Dragon Sonic, who is closing up behind. As Cable's out the podium right now, still has not got a podium in a while yet, I think. Actually, no, wait, he got one literally a couple races ago. Never mind, ignore what I'm saying. And Tom Leon putting up a really good defense to keep Igorov behind. It's a good play for Mercedes. One driver challenging for the win right now, and the other holding up Loretto. As the exact teamwork Mercedes needs to get the championship, and it's working perfectly at the moment. However, commentators' curses came into effect. Igorov was down the inside, is through into P5, but there we are, Tom Leon not giving up, and it's getting back ahead. So, yeah, they're still side by side though. Round the final corner, Igorov up through ahead, and both of them getting DRS enabled. Now, I bet Tom Leon will try for the move. He's not going to get those Igorov right on the back of UK walls. Leon getting a really good exit to the first corner. It's not enough to get ahead. Unfortunately, he cannot defend any longer. 62% on his tires, 63% above close. So yeah, it's clear the driver has pushed his tires more, and he'll be obviously more likely a pit in the following stages of the race. As Dragon putting up a stoic defense at the moment to keep P3 and P4. A solid result, which I say they definitely need if they want to at least keep P3 and push forward. Because Versio already looking like an incredible driver on this grid. So yeah, he could easily pile pressure onto Dragon by putting in some solid performances. He's also the 24th driver this season. Well, so yeah. Van Horn was technically not the 23rd. 23rd was actually Wallace, despite Wallace being the full-time driver and Van Horn not until now, obviously. As Ultra pitting on the hards, Sergio pitting on the hards, they have got identical strategies. Here's the thing, Mercedes, you can't beat Renault by copying them. Now, if you buy a 425 or you're just steam brake my 3, you'll understand what I meant by that. Yeah, anyways, Sergio came out the pit stop stage really affected here. He's gonna have to get past St. Maximin, who is just traffic in his way. St. Maximin pulls over to the inside, Sergio on the outside, and that should be a lot more empowering line there. He's through in P21, so he was not going to fight that one. What about Van Horn though? The other Toyota. I don't think Van Horn's trying to fight it, however Sergio is struggling to find a good gap to get ahead, and there we are. He is through, but Ultra is pulling away now, and the traffic is not helping. And the two Dragons are 1-2 in this race. None of them going for the pits just yet. So it looks like they're going to try and go along, possibly in an attempt to go at the mediums, as well as on the mediums pit, and he's going on to hard tyres for that. However, he's been held up there, and that is a very unsafe release. Leon almost going into the back of Wallace. And there, oh, Leon has been held up as well as M4 goes by. Oh, that's not a good sight at all there. And we just play the Drag Sonic ahead of A.G.E, ahead of Gorov, ahead of Tom Leon. Now, people on soft tyres are very bad right now. Now, the Dragons, I think, are possibly holding out for a safety car. However, at the stage, anyone behind who's pit like Ultra Sergio, they will get the jump. They're gonna get the jump. Yeah, Sergio has lost a lot in this pit stop phase simply because of the traffic that he's had to endure. And on board with the reigning world champion, the man who's recently dropped a P3 in the standings as well, looking to climb up into P2, good round the outside of Dominic Di Benedetto. I don't think that's quite the move, but he has got it this time, sticking to the inside, and unfortunately he could hold back longer. Oh wait, never mind, he did get DRS somehow. But Bro is behind. And here we are for Tom Leon. There we are, using the first DRS zone on the track, gets through up into P1. He's finally broke free from the first Dragon of Cable. Sonic, he has pit, and he's managed to even get ahead of Wallace. So yeah, the pace is strong from Dragon. The pace is strong. If we have a look at Cable's tyres at 24%. Tom Leon mediums, they're on 43. There's a clear difference. However, for Cable, he's already using the tyres as much as he can. And to Zen Omar, for him, the hards, they are wearing out as well, 59%. However, a 5-second time penalty is not going to be good for him at all. And Ultra trying to get around. And there is Boxara feeling the pressure from Sergio. But Sergio is going to go by, no issues whatsoever. Williams cedes position and goes into the pit lane as UK will also pits. 16% of their tyres were just getting out of his box in time, and it's soft. So UK Ball's on a 2-stop strategy. Clearly, No way the tires are going to go at the end. So is that a possible strategy blunder? Did Dragon put the wrong tires on? Or was this intentional? As A.G.E does not get DRS, but Nick Leon does. However, Nick Leon's not going to be a threat there. But you're also quickest in the first sector, as he's up in P5 at the moment, looking to get through into P4. And soon P3 once Tom Leon enters the pit lane. I can see the mediums are not holding on right now. So anyone who's put onto mediums for the second tyre is going to struggle. Oh, I didn't even notice this player outside. Also pit for softs. So Dragon are going for interesting strategy, I must say so myself. Around the final quarter, Tom Leon slowing down. That's clearly because he's going to the pit as he does enter the pit lane. Ultra leads from Sarkera, who does just get a DRS, but Bludger Sonic, he's also got DRS and he's on soft tyres. A much better race tire, setting it down the inside and it's through to P2 in the Grand Prix. That was an incredible manoeuvre to get up into P2, an absolute risk. Like, that was a very big risk, that. And now he's got one more car to go before he's got the provisional lead of this race, because, yeah, he's going to pit again. And there we are, the outside line for him. There we go, fighting the World Championship leader, and is through into the lead of the race. The three-time champion now leads the Hungarian GP. This was a track that Crumbly was successful at. He is now the Dragon Reserve. We got all of his wins here with Dragon. So BDS carrying on that successful Hungarian GP legacy by leading this race. And yeah, that was incredible to see. As Dragon will make an attempt to pull away from them guys behind. However, he's done that move a bit too late in the lap. He can't pull away the gap we wanted. And unfortunately for him, he's going to be susceptible to Ultra, who is only 7.9 tenths down on him. However, yeah, that's not actually worked out for Ultra, as the pace clearly is not there. So, yeah. Ignore whatever I was saying before then. As A.G.E starting to catch up to the guys at the front. The gap was 8 seconds last lap. Down the inside of Versio moving alongside. And will he fight this one or not? As A.G.E drops down. Versio looking to put up a fight here. Secure Alfa Romeo as many points as possible. He's probably just holding drivers up, so Wallace can pull out a bit of a gap. It might not matter though for A.G.E. He's probably going to try and get ahead, as the gap has grown to over a second for Blender Sonic. Now if he does pit again, he's going to come out towards the back end of the grid, so he needs to make this stint count. And he needs to make the start of his next stint count as well. I just hope the tires absolutely fall off, as Omar's still out on track despite doing 9 laps plus the formation lap. On them tires, that's why it says 10 on there. Yeah, you can expect BDS to pit sometime soon now, as the tires are falling off. So he's done 4 laps on them. A.G.E Ball's done 3 laps on them. And now a fast lap for Tom Leon in Mercedes, who's also on softs. Just have 2 laps, so it looks like Leon's also on a similar strategy to the Dragons. This 1 second gap that he has could be crucial. It could be what defines a possible podium if you can make up enough time. And of course, we've got a little trade here, because Versio is an absolute blockade here. The Alfa Romeos though are very quick. They're fending off A.G.E Ball while also pushing towards the top 4. Now this is one battle I would never have expected. Versio, I think, has a pretty good chance of fighting for another podium, you know. He's on the hards, yes, so they're going to be pretty durable, and he's got less wear than everyone else around him. So in my opinion, race winner possibly Versio, as Blender Sonic enters the pit lane to make his second stop of the day. It is for medium tyres into the pits coming Gorov. He's getting off them tyres as well. So now A.G.E Ball's promoted up to 5th, but he's still stuck behind the Alfa Romeos. Like, damn. And we can't forget the top 2 of the championship, who are still separated by only a second in the race. You can see the Alfa Romeos just behind. I'm sure Mercedes and Renault have got the Alphas on their radar for possible threats in this Grand Prix, because who wouldn't? Verstappen and Wallace are 2 good drivers. And Verstappen's a pretty good rookie. There we are! He's fighting his teammate. Is this a coordinated swap by Alfa Romeo, or is this a genuine fight? Well, we'll see if Wallace backs out or not. Realistically, I think he should. And there we are, Verstappen promoted into 3rd place, and that there is the podium places I was on about. I told you Verstappen's in the fight for podium, and he does get up to P3, but can he go to the end, and can he hold on to that position? And I'm sure A.G.E might pit stop. No, he does not. He's staying on the softs, and he's going to go for a 5th lap on them as Tom Leon is through up at P5 ahead of A.G.E, now on the back of Wallace, as Verstappen is free to start catching Sergio and Ultra, who has 2-lap tyre advantage on. So yeah, this I think was a coordinated swap by the Alphas. 12 seconds separate Blade Jack Sonic and Ultra, and hopefully for BS that would be a good move, and it was a good move. Through into P8, and they should get Jonathan Sim now. The Koenigsegg does not have anything to do with BDS in this race. And there we go. BDS is absolutely flying, and look at that. There's only a couple corners between him and the top guys. The race is not off yet for him. He has still got an opportunity to push for more. Can he push for more though? Of course, the tyres are very much wearing out for the guys at the front. So yeah, they'll probably have to do a lot of time management this race. We'll just check for now on pit. Sergio, he's going for the pit stop. Verstappen gets at the P2, Wallace will go at the P3. Tom Leon does not pit. A.G.E does not pit. They are going very long in this race. As out of the box goes Sergio, but it's too late for him. Legend Sonic goes by, as well as Ivan Gregorov, who's just sitting a couple seconds behind of BDS. And for Sergio, he comes out in 10th place on fresh softs. It's an absolute sprint to the finish for this man. The Brazilian going for yet another risky strategy as Verstappen is less than a second from Ultra. This could turn out to be one hell of an ending to this Grand Prix. Can Verstappen win a race in Alfa Romeo? Well, we'll have to find out, because who knows how this race is going to end. As A.G.E is slowing a lot, he's going to have to let BDS through, as BDS is closed in that gap a lot. He is getting closer and closer with every moment, fraction, a millisecond of time that passes in this race. I'm going to watch Ultra's line there, sticking to the inside. Is he going to pit? No. He is staying out on track. Verstappen stays out on track as well. Where is Wallace? Wallace pits. Wallace clearly thinking he can't make it to the end. But here we are. Could this be a move? Is he going to do it? No. Verstappen stays in his position, enabling DRS. Here we are, heading down the first DRS zone on the track. He's going to go down the inside. Verstappen takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. With less than 3 laps to go, he has a pretty good chance of this race, but he's going to have to hold on to this position. Blade Jack Sonic is only 2.3 seconds behind. He's just been unleashed into 3rd place. And Ultra's lasted 10 laps on this tyre, and he's going to go down the inside of Verstappen, but he's gone wide at the end of that chicane. Blade Jack Sonic has just got there. He's only a second away, and the time is running out for these two at the front. They keep squabbling, deciding who should be in first. But in reality, a 2-stop strategy, which we never really see work out, may end up being the best strategy we've seen. As Tom Leon's overtaken by Gorov, the 1-stop is failing these drivers. As Blade Sonic is just behind. Is he going to go for the move on the outside of the final corner on Ultra? No. Of course, at this point, you may as well stay out. And Blade Sonic takes 2nd place. And he's now approaching the first corner of the racetrack. He's not going to go for the move just yet, which is obviously the best decision to do here. You can't risk it all because you have got a race to win. As Verstio was able to hold on for now, but this is going to have to be one incredible defense if he wants to do it. And obviously there's a lot more traction for Blade Sonic, who goes through and leads the Grand Prix in Hungary. Verstio's second place now, he drops down, and that must be absolutely devastating and crushing for him. A.G.E not making use of the new tyres. In fact, he's actually out of pit again. He's out to make another stop, which, yeah, that's probably why he's down in 9th position. As BDS are now officially leading by over a second as of when I started to read that. And Verstio pulling over to the inside. I think he might like to go on 5, probably just to get DRS. Of course, the mouth of the wind still technically is not off because the gap was so close out in front. Yes, Verstio will get DRS. What about Grigorov though? Grigorov hitting that line? No, he hasn't. He's not got it. Verstio has. But I think Verstio, it's too late as he's approaching Grigorov fast. But I think he's just not made enough time up. Serkiera on softs, and he's going to steal the dreams of a second podium in a row from Verstio, who drops speed forward. It's absolute devastation. That's just absolute devastation, that. And yeah, this here is Blade Sonic's victory to lose. It's his race to lose. But if he can get this, he can carry the Dragon success at Hungary legacy on. It would be an absolute amazing sight to see. But still over a second to go. Who knows how it's going to end. Grigorov has been on the laps for the same amount of time as BDS, but he's got more skill than BDS. But over a second this time, I think it might be over for Grigorov, who is going to maintain P2 in the championship. But something that's more important right now is here we are, around the final corner. Blade Sonic will come across the line to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. What a victory! And oh, that's going to be absolute joy in the Dragon Garage. Alfa Romeo will be devastated to come this close. U.K. will get across the line for P7 and missing out on a fast lap, but Wallace does take that. Sebastian Gabo, P8. It's Tom Leon. Oh, all of his tyres are punctured. Is he going to make it across the line in time for points? It's a close one. He does make it. Oh, sorry, he doesn't. By an absolute marginal gap there. Tom Leon really pushing them tyres too far. 9 laps on softs. And the tyres just blew. They are just completely blue. It's Leroy St. Maxwin finishes P21, and the man who will finish last in this race, Taco Van Horn. Oh, it's another bad result for Toyota. When will they upgrade? Like, they've got over 100 million, they have not used it. So here we are, the podium celebrations for what was an incredible race. The 1-stop versus the 2-stop. Safe to say the 2-stop was definitely the better option. So yeah, Blade Sonic winning once again. Oh, you probably missed out on that top step. The most successful driver in F1 Classic, taking his place back on the podium. Well, got nothing else to say except let's listen to the Nigerian national anthem. So BDS wins this race in Europe, South Carolina. It was Verstio devastation for him, as I've already exclaimed before. Ultra P5, not the best of results for him, but he does maintain that championship lead. And it was Zach Wallace, U.K. Ball, he's doing a very risky 3-stop because the tyres couldn't last. There was Ocavo and Nick Leon and Bamnus for Dacia, who managed to both just get onto the points at the very last moment. Tom Leon, who dropped out the points at the very end. We have Daniel Bossar of Ravo, better result than usual. There's Simon Omar for an average result. George Bedell, Fernandez, and 4 All-Star vouchers. Brulez, Sierra, disappointing result. Same thing for St. Martin and Van Horn. In Toyotas, and that was it for the Hungarian GP. I can't wait to see you when F1 Classic returns in France. See you next time. And remember to bring a baguette with you.